Hello again, everyone. I'm still going with the latest release from Gummy Pan. And today I've got a dress, looks to me like a wedding dress, and a pair of doves with some cord between them that's gone into the shape of a heart. So I thought I would, actually the dress I think comes with shoes. I think it might come with the veil, but I don't have the veil. But I'm not going to bother with the shoes for the minute. What I thought I would do is to make my normal size card like this. I've cut my card, I've cut my panel, and I thought I would have an oval aperture in this front panel. And kind of my idea is to have a dress like this, partly over the recess, with the doves just kind of like that. And I thought to myself, I would quite like to have a bit of embossing. I'm doing a white on white card this time. I'd like to have a little bit of embossing in this aperture. And I came across this embossing folder from Charlie and Paulchen. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, if I have an aperture kind of like that, and I have all these hearts in a sort of a cascade like that, this dress would then be kind of framed by that part of the heart, and then this could kind of go over that bit like that. What do you think? So anyway, I'm going to have a go. I don't know if it's going to work, but I've cut out 3 dresses because I'm going to stack them. I've cut out 3 sets of doves because I'm going to stack those, because if they're going to be partially over an aperture, they need to be a bit stronger. They need to be supported. So there'll be 3 layers, and then there'll be some foam tape behind those and behind part of this. So shall we just kind of go and see where we get to? Right, first thing I'm going to do is to emboss a piece of card in this embossing folder. So now I need my glue plate to do this. Let's bring it in a bit. Don't know if you can see, but it doesn't need to be, too obvious. So there's my embossing folder. I'm just going to, oh goodness, this is a 3D, but a skinny 3D, and it just, whoa. He shot out the other end. Let's see what we've got. It might have been all right with just a regular. But there we have. Look at those they're tiny little hearts. I don't like to show things too close to the camera because it sometimes starts to flicker. Right, now I'm going to cut this oval aperture from my front panel. This oval is one of those many dies that you get in a nesting set from Presscut. Just love them. I like the fact that they are so closely aligned in size, and also you can make frames with them because they are equidistant all the way around. The size goes up. Oh, doesn't look too promising, does it? Let me just give that a white. I don't know which side it's on. Is that the side? Yeah, I think we're okay. Just don't want anything to come onto my... I'll have a good old clean later on. I hadn't noticed that. I don't know what I've been putting through the die cutting machine. I find that a little alcohol of some description cleans plates and all sorts of things. Mats very successfully. I just need to see if this is central. Okay. Here we go. If you're unsure, do tape your dies down to make sure they stay where you want them. Right. There's my aperture, and that's not good actually, I have to tell you. It must have moved, says she. I'll just cut another one. What the amount? my answer to cutting that wrong, you can see this side is wider than that side, is to cut it down some more. So this is actually in the middle, and it'll do for something else. I'm not going to throw it away. Fear not. I won't waste, says she, hopefully. Right, I'm just going to cut the panel out first. Now I'm going to cut out the aperture, and I am going to tape it down this time because, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Used to say that when I was, well, my mother used to say that to me. Right, a little bit of low tack tape just to keep it where we want it. Makes sense, doesn't it, really? Right, and I put the majority of the, I mean, this low tack tape doesn't damage card usually, but I tend to put the majority of it on the bit that is going to be the waste, just in case. But like I say, it doesn't often happen, but it's not a bad thing to do as a general rule. Right, there's my aperture. Let's hope we're right this time. You can actually use the piece that you cut out to put back in. I did that the other day with the font card that I made. But because I want this position sort of where I want it, if you know what I mean, I want the ability to be able to kind of do this with it, and when I see it in place, rather than doing it first and then thinking, oh, I would have liked it, you know, a tad to one side. Right, that's fine. This obviously will be cut down and it goes behind. Now I'm just going to join these die cuts together, stick them together to make stacks. And let's use this big one for the dress. Get it covered quickly. There's one layer. And the second on the top. It's very elegant, isn't it? Look at that. And we'll give it a bit of shape in a minute. She looks like she's got a nice shape already, doesn't she? I'm not going to use this for this one. It's kind of super wet and super sticky, and I might get in a bit of a pickle with the fine line, so I'm going to use my zig for that. Just get rid of that little bit. Okie dokie. Let's do these. I apologise for the people who don't like the noise of my pen. Do you know, I'd never noticed it at all until someone mentioned they don't like the noise, they have to turn the sound down when I start doing this. Well, at least you can turn the sound down, can't you? Okay. I was thinking, actually, sometimes people have said to me that they were a bit overfaced, a bit overwhelmed by what to do with dies and things that they have. And I think the answer is, don't try and be too overambitious. You've got to have an aim that is actually achievable. It's within your capabilities. When I was teaching, I would never, ever ask children to do things that I knew were beyond their capabilities. It's absolutely soul-destroying. The thing to do is to have a target that is achievable a little challenging, but something that they're able to do, you're able to do well. The feeling of satisfaction when you are pleased with something that you've done is so encouraging. It makes you want to do more. And, you know, I used to find that with the children. They were amazing. They would be lit up with joy, really, when they, you know, you set the scene, you let them know that it's going to be reasonably difficult, but they should do a good job. And when they do it, oh God, it was wonderful. It was what teaching was all about. Now that will go there, and that will go there. Just wondering, actually, if that is a bit... Do you know, I think that... I thought it was a clever idea, but I think that's a bit too distracting. I think it's a bit too much. That's a shame, because I thought that was a really good idea. It would work without the birds, wouldn't it? It would go all right without the birds. But the birds are just too much. That's okay, like that. I think we'll leave this one to do that with it. Yes? We could always have a with love or something or other, couldn't we? I'll use the birds for something else. I'll do those on something else. But let's just cut this down. I'll get some foam tape on the back of here. Going to have to put this in sections to go around the oval. People will be saying, oh, you can bend it. You can. I know you can, but I'd get in the pickle. It's better if you want to try and bend it. You take the top layer off so that it will bend. Can't be doing with it. So I just prefer to put strips, because once you've got it exposed, you know, anything can get stuck to it, and probably would with me. So there we go. Just go around the edge, then I'll fill in the corners. I do appreciate people, you know, passing on tips that they have discovered, but not all tips work for all people, do they? We're all different, and we all like our own way of doing things. And we like to do what works for us. There we go. That's a shame about those birds, isn't it? I thought they would look good, but with that... And I love this. I haven't used it much, to be perfectly honest. But we're nearly there, folks. We're getting there. One thing I've bought, and I haven't tried yet, are some foam sheets. So I'm thinking that if you die cut a foam sheet and stick it onto, or with a die cut on the top, whatever you've done will be supported all the way over. So that is yet to come. I'm going to have a little play with that and see how it works. I'm not absolutely sure how it's going to work, but that's what I had in my mind when I bought them, when I ordered them. I just thought, oh, I think they were on offer somewhere, 3 for 2 or something like that. Can't resist a bargain. So anyway, later today, a certain little person called Cleo is going to come and stay. Her daddy and mummy are going to go sailing with friends. And they're doing an early start tomorrow morning, so certain young ladies coming to stay with us tonight. So, because we live very close to the River Hamble and the Solent, so a lot of sailing goes on. And so tomorrow there may be a little person doing a bit of crafting in here with me. So there may be another. I'd have to find out something, you know, interesting for her to do, to help me with. She just loves it. Right, I'm going to put this on here. I think I'll cut it off afterwards. Is that how I want it? Where's my dress? Oh, that'll do, I think, like that. Okay, let me cut the excess off. Take a look. Let's give this a little bit of shape. Time for a little bit of moulding with my embossing tool. Let's just pop those away. Can you see? I'm giving this lady a little bit of a few more curves. Just taking this embossing tool down with the folds of the dress. I might get a slightly smaller one here. Just to give a little bit of, let's have a look. Yeah, I think that look quite nice. Right, so she'll be stuck to the front panel at the bottom of the dress. I'm going to have some foam tape underneath the top part. Right, here we go. And I want something to keep these folds together. They're cut right through on the die on there. Yeah, some little bits. There, bit in there. How's that going to go? Is that okay? Let me just see. There we go. They're quite nice. I am thinking about a sentiment of some description, but I can't think at the minute. I need a bit of adhesive along the bottom of the dress to stick it to the front panel. There we go. It's such a pretty dress, isn't it? One of the things I was saying about achievable, if you think, you know, you find it difficult to colour a die, then there are alternatives. You can leave it white. You can use paper piecing. Let's put that in the middle of this archy thing. There we go. Now I'll stick that down to the front of the card. I don't think I've taken that quite far enough down. I don't want it to show. I didn't cut the top actually, did I? Does it show? No, it doesn't show. It's fine. It's fine. Don't fuss, Christine. Right, here we go. I'd forgotten about this embossing folder from Charlie Paulchen. And you don't actually, of course, have to use the whole anything, really. There we go. White on white wedding. There's another one. I'll find something to use the doves with, because I'll just look again, but I don't think it's going to go. Oh, it might. Actually, it's far enough up. There's enough white there. It was before, it was kind of being confused with... No, I think I'll put it on, actually. I'm going to put it on. Right, let me do that. There's no tiny little bit of foam tape there, perhaps, just in that little bit there. The rest of it can be stuck to the frame, to the front panel. No, tiny little bit, I said, didn't I? Where was it? Oh, just under the body there. Okay. Oops, daisy. Get on that. That was the one, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the one. Okay. Change my mind. Lady's prerogative, isn't it? To change her mind. I do it often, seems to me. Okay. So it did work out in the end. Take that bit of backing off. There we go. There we are. Done. Oh, changed my mind. I quite like it. Another one. Thank you so much for watching.